Welcome to Campfire Bedtime Stories, where magic, mystery, and the extraordinary come alive. Tonight, we take you on a journey, a story of love, sacrifice, and the kind of magic that doesn't come from spells or sorcery, but from the depths of the human heart. Settle in, let the warmth of the fire draw you closer, and prepare to lose yourself in tonight's tale, The Timeless Gift. The story begins in a dusty, candlelit antique shop where the air is thick with intrigue. Shelves lined with rare and beautiful objects seem to hum with secrets from the past. Bill, a thoughtful man with a kind face, browses the shop, his eyes landing on a delicate jeweled necklace displayed under glass. It sparkles faintly in the flickering candlelight, drawing him closer. From behind the counter, the antique dealer emerges, a man of advanced years with a knowing smile and an air of quiet wisdom. He approaches Bill, who explains,
"Today is my 35th wedding anniversary. I want to find something truly special for my wife, Mary."
The dealer nods knowingly.
"I believe I have just the thing,"
he says, disappearing into the shadowy back room. Moments later, he returns, holding a magnificent necklace. Bill is flabbergasted. The necklace is exactly what he had envisioned, a perfect symbol of his love for Mary.
"It's beautiful,"
he says, his voice tinged with awe. The dealer smiles.
"It's more than a gift. It can fulfill a wish for its recipient. But for the magic to work, the giver must offer something equally as valuable in return."
Though skeptical, Bill is intrigued. He begins to tell the dealer about Mary, how she has been worrying over her looks, fretting about the passage of time and growing older.
"My wish,"
he says,
"is for her to have her youth back so she can feel beautiful and confident again."
The dealer's expression turns solemn.
"You must understand.
He cautions.
This is not a decision to take lightly. For every year she loses, you will gain a year in age. Are you prepared for the consequences?"
Bill hesitates for only a moment before replying firmly,
"I take my youth. I love her too much to let her feel this way."
The dealer studies him for a moment, then nods.
"Then that is how it shall be,"
he says, his voice low and final. The deal is struck, and Bill leaves the shop with the necklace in hand, his heart full of hope. That evening, Bill and Mary sat together at the dining table, savoring the warmth of their anniversary dinner. The soft glow of candlelight illuminated their faces as laughter and conversation filled the room. When the plates were cleared away, Bill reached under the table and retrieved a small, beautifully wrapped box. His hands trembled with excitement as he placed it in front of Mary.
"I've been looking forward to this all day,"
he said with a wide smile. Mary's eyes sparkled as she reached behind her chair, pulling out an equally elegant box.
"Funny,"
she said with a soft laugh.
because I've been looking forward to this too.
They exchanged gifts, their hands brushing momentarily.
"Go ahead.
Bill urged.
Open it."
You first.
Mary replied with a grin. In a flurry of tissue paper and ribbons, they opened their boxes at the same time. Mary gasped softly, her eyes widening as she held up the necklace. Its intricate design shimmered in the light, the jewels catching every flicker of the candles.
Oh, it's beautiful.
She whispered, her voice thick with emotion. Bill, meanwhile, held up a finely crafted antique watch, its face elegant and timeless.
"This is incredible,"
he said, genuinely surprised.
"I've never seen anything like it."
They smiled at each other, the warmth of the moment filling the room. As Mary clasped the necklace around her neck, Bill strapped the watch onto his wrist. He sat back and watched her expectantly, waiting for the magic to take hold. But as the seconds ticked by, nothing happened. His smile faded, and disappointment began to cloud his face. Mary noticed the change in his expression and frowned.
What's wrong?
She asked, her voice tinged with concern. Bill shook his head, frustration creeping into his voice.
Nothing. It's nothing.
But his eyes betrayed him as they lingered on her face, searching for any sign of change, any hint that the necklace was working. Then, for the first time, he noticed the flicker of sadness in Mary's own expression. She was no longer admiring the necklace, but looking down at her hands, as if lost in thought.
What's wrong?
He asked, leaning forward, his disappointment momentarily forgotten. She hesitated, her fingers brushing the necklace absently before meeting his eyes.
I went to the antique shop in town.
She began softly, her voice tinged with hesitation.
When I saw this watch, I immediately thought of you, how hard you've worked, how much you've sacrificed for us over the years.
She paused, her eyes dropping as if embarrassed.
The shopkeeper told me it was special, that it held a kind of magic. He said I could make a wish for whoever I gave it to.
Her voice trembled slightly as she continued.
So I wished for you to have your youth back, so you could feel strong and vibrant again.
Bill stared at her, stunned, his mind racing.
You wished for me?
She nodded, a bittersweet smile tugging at her lips.
And now, I see that you don't look any different, which means…
His voice broke as he interrupted her.
I did the same thing.
He admitted, his hand trembling as it brushed the watch on his wrist.
I went to the antique shop, too. I wished for your youth, so you could feel beautiful and confident again. I gave up my youth for you, too.
Her eyes widened as the realization dawned.
So, both of our wishes, they cancelled each other out.
Mary reached across the table, taking his hand in hers.
Maybe that's for the best.
She said, her voice warm and steady. Bill smiled, squeezing her hand.
You're right, I wouldn't trade what we have for anything. You're perfect just the way you are. And the years just means I love you more with every passing day.
Tears glistened in Mary's eyes as she smiled softly.
And I love you, Bill. Every wrinkle, every moment we've shared, it's all part of the life we've built together.
They sat together, the flickering candlelight casting soft shadows on their faces, both filled with a newfound appreciation for the life they had built together. Later, the necklace and watch found a place of honor on the mantel. Resting side by side, they became symbols, not of what they had wished for, but of the love and sacrifice that bound them together. And so ends tonight's tale of love, sacrifice, and the timeless treasures we hold in our hearts. The timeless gift reminds us that the real magic in this world is found not in wishes, but in the love we share with those closest to us. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who loves a good tale. Subscribe to Campfire Bedtime Stories and join us next time for another journey into the mysterious and extraordinary. Until then, let the warmth of the fire guide your dreams.